Hey, I'm Eric. I'm making a game. I am making a game. I am. I am. And it's a wonderful day in the neighborhood to turn off those lights and turn on the me lights. The lights that say it's my time. It's my time to work on the game. Yeah, so I'm going to demo in a second. I'm going to demo the game. Recent progress. Made a new level last night. Pretty happy with it. Although in a kind of a twingy, uncertain way. Like, is it as good as I think it is? Or is it like... I don't know. It's good to kind of have that out on the ledge feeling about some things. Alright, but before I do that, let's take a look at the status screen. At the status screen, I'm having a hard time talking. I haven't updated in a long time, and I realize that right now most of the work I'm getting in is around content. I think after the end of the year I might go back to focus more on the engine. We'll see how it goes. I would like to finish off the engine. There is a little give and take between these two parts. I'm mostly making the engine to make the content, but every once in a while the content says, hey, we need something from the engine. And I thought a little bit about what's actually needed for the content, and more than that, kind of how to simplify everything that's needed. Just put them into neat little buckets, so I can get an idea of what my status is, without thinking too hard, and without fooling myself. And I think I'm further along than I actually am. So I'll go over some of this real quick. The engine is everything that is needed for the game to work, other than the content. It's mixed in with content. It's kind of hard for it not to be, but the characters move around as they're supposed to. All the game elements function with nice animations and looking polished. And all this stuff I've got up here to 100% in this sort of dark olive green tint. That means, as far as I can tell, other than maybe a few bugs that I've noticed recently, I've got nothing else to do on these elements. They're done. Down here, I know I will probably end up making some more 3D models and cosmetic type objects. I thought I was close to being done, but then what I keep noticing is that a little bit goes a long way with this stuff. Particularly if you can come up with some kind of general purpose improvement or general purpose cosmetic model that can be reused in more than one place. So I'm leaving it at slightly off green. Lime green, which is not the full 100% done. Okay, the death box is a little theatrical piece which happens on one level. It's sort of goes in the category of content because it is specific to one level, but there's a lot of code around it, so that's why I've got over on the engine side. Meta, I basically just need to make the settings screen, and that might be just about it. So face animation, there's code for all the functionality there. It has not been well tested. I know there's going to be a whole bunch of small improvements and bug fixes to make it. So I've got the yellow credits, end screen. I want to do something special. I always like a game to finish up making the player feel surprised at that last little burst of energy given at the end. So this will be a secret project. I'm not going to stream about it. There may be some period of time where I'm doing a lot of work off stream and not reporting much on it when I work on this. Content, okay. So I thought about the levels. It's hard to call any level complete until I've got the music in it, which sometimes is triggered by specific events within the level, the voiceover recordings, the face art that goes with the voiceover recordings. Although this isn't tied to the levels, but the VO recordings definitely are, because they're tied to the specific dialogue. The songs, to some extent, they're tied into the level. So this first pass on the levels, which I'm going through now, is getting them like really very close to what you would see in the final game. Like if a playtester reports a problem with the level that makes it not fun, I fix it. So what's left on this polish over here, this final medium polish? This means making sure the songs are in there, making sure the dialogue and voiceover recordings are there. By the way, I kind of want to write the dialogue almost entirely after the levels are complete, because they are just so intertwined. It's probably one of those things where it's a chicken and egg problem, but I'm definitely delaying writing some of the dialogue until after more levels are complete. The polish. So that includes lighting. It includes maybe some updates to scenery that come in from the cosmetics over here. At this point in time when I'm working on polish, my team may have grown a little bit. I might have some more people. Perhaps if I partner with the right publisher, they may give some funding to kind of multiply the amount of work we do on level specific 3D models and textures and stuff like that. So I'm leaving this as a chunk that will still need completion. I'm thinking of these 5 categories as roughly 5 parts of a whole, and these big 3 categories are roughly 1/3 of a whole, or I should say this one is 1/6 and this one is 1/6. The unknown is tasks I hadn't thought of, and I've already used up some of it. I suppose if I was updating this scrupulously, I would have some kind of percentage over here. But yeah, I'm not going to worry about too much. This isn't like real fancy project planning. This is just a nice little screen for myself. It gives me some idea. Business, there's a whole bunch of stuff you get into. Pitching a game, talking to different publishers, reviewing contracts, negotiating. That's even in that early stage. There's just a lot of work talking to people and giving demos and pitching and all that. Then once that kind of hammers out, the publisher and the distribution channels will start making some demands of you. So if I integrate, if I distribute on Steam, there's some integration tasks around there. Maybe the publisher I go with has got like a fancy portal that I'm supposed to get onto, and I have to integrate with that. Things like that. Promotion and marketing, there's always like some tasks like generating copy, screenshots. Like when people do reviews, they want certain materials sent to them, all that kind of thing. And then support. This is more of a post-release thing, but you have to get set up in order to handle different support requests that come in after the game's released. So that's why there's a big old chunk over there, like 1/6 of, I say my time, but I'll just say my team's time, even though I'm a team of 1 with a few helpers. So either a publisher will allow my team to grow a little bit, or depending on how they want to multiply the effort, a lot, or I'll keep going with the lone indie publisher model, maybe put out on Steam, whatever, and then just be very strategic about engaging contractors for different parts, with a smaller budget, maybe $10,000 or something like that. So that is the status of things, and things are good. Let me get to a demo. I talk so long without demoing. It's a crime. Let's get to the demo. Okay. So there's two types of levels in my mind. There's way more than 2 types. But for this bucketing exercise, let's say that there's nice self-contained levels. I mean, they're all self-contained, but let me phrase it better. A level where the puzzle is straightforward, and there's not a lot of extra stuff to it, and it's kind of small and contained, and you can see it easily. Okay, that's one kind of level. This is what this level is. I demoed this yesterday or the day before. I call it the Whelm. That's what this level is. And it's pretty straightforward. Then there's the other kind of level, which is like it's full of secrets and extra things and flourishes, and it's wild. It's a wild level. It's like I don't know if you, the listener, has ever looked at a printed like Dungeons and Dragons book or something like that. Let me just see. Images, dungeon map. You ever spotted like a map like this? I just picked this at random. There's so many like this. Like, you look at this and you don't know exactly what you're seeing at first glance, but it looks complex and mysterious. There's nooks and crannies. There's places to explore. There's secrets in it, right? And that's the kind of level I made last night. And it's got a straightforward puzzle, and then you start seeing around the edges. There's a little more here. And I'm going to demo that right next. So let's go to that level. Now, I didn't intend for it to sprawl out. It's almost like mysterious to me too, and I made it. There's these little cues in my head that say put a hallway here, put a little thing here, go deep down here. It gets exciting making it, and I hope it gets exciting for people to play it as well. What did I call it? I called it Death Compass. And then that's the sort of work in progress name, but the game name that I'm giving it now is Compassorium, meaning something kind of like an auditorium based on a compass. All right. So let me set maximize on play. Good. Hit play. Let's try it out. I'll do the player empathy exercise in this. I'll pretend I'm a player that has gone through the previous 18, 19 levels and knows a little bit about the game but has never seen this level before and doesn't know what's up. Okay, so you start out here and you can see there's passages going off north, west, and south. But you can actually only go this way, so it's blocked off in this other direction. What you know about eggs at this point, this thing over here is an egg, is that when you die, you'll be born out of the egg. Some people like to call it a spawn point. I hate the word spawn. It's hard to explain. But a checkpoint, it's where you will go if you get killed. Okay? But there's another feature of getting killed in this game that the level doesn't reset. You just start. It's like a teleport, really. Okay. So then there's blocks. You can push blocks around. Okay. Player knows all about blocks. Okay. Now, when you destroy a block, much like you die and end up reborn at a certain point, which is the block pad. So a block pad has a letter on it, as do blocks, and if you destroy a block, it will find the nearest block pad with a matching letter. Okay, so if I destroy the T block, it goes to the T block pad. Okay, so I see blocks T, E, A. Up here, if I explore a bit, there's a block pad with no block. Down here, also a block pad with no block. If I look down the hole, there's some spikes down there. And that little death thing hovering over the top of it, that shows up when the game predicts that your movement in that direction will kill you. I'll go ahead and kill myself. Okay, so here's something I noticed. as the player inside of this level for the first time. When I died, it brought me back to the egg, which I already knew would happen, but it sent me out of the south exit of the egg instead of the east where I was originally coming from. This allows me to go down one of the other paths, explore this area. So this is like a kind of like a simpler version of the room I was just in. There's a pit with spikes in the bottom down there. I can jump into it if I want. There is a letter bridge that's open. Okay, this thing where it says ATE, that's a letter bridge. If somewhere in the level there are blocks that spell the same word that's on the letter bridge, the letter bridge will close, become opaque, and traversable. Right now, if I step onto it, I just drop through the letter bridge. Okay, why would I want to close that letter bridge? It probably has to do with getting to this D block up here. In fact, at this point in the game, as a player who's reached this level, I know that to be true. So I see nothing else to do inside of this room. I'm going to just hop down the pit. That seems to be my only option, because if I go back up this way, it's blocked. So down the pit I go. Now, repeating the same pattern, I've gone clockwise. I'm coming out west of the egg. At this point, I probably notice a pattern. It seems like, you know, I can get to any of these rooms just by jumping down the pit. So this layout is much like the other one. It's a different word here, T. Okay. Then I go north. This one is eat. So the first room was a little more complicated, and it had blocks in it that I could push around. The other three rooms have a block I can access if I spell the word on the letter bridge. So I'm going to go back to the first room and set about spelling one of the words. But also, before I do that, I'll take a look at what's to the east. Okay, there's another letter bridge that has the word tread on it, and if I'm able to spell tread, that letter bridge will close. I'll be able to walk across. Another thing that not a new player, but a player at this level would possibly notice is the red light over here. I pretty consistently use the red light to indicate you're close to the exit. So this bridge, probably, I'm guessing, as the player goes off to the exit, the level exit, which is the goal of each level. Okay. So I don't have enough letters to spell tread, but I saw in the other rooms D and R. So I want to get to those letters. One of the words that was spelled was T, so I'll do that first. Okay, so there was a high-pitched noise like, yeah. I know that means that a letter bridge closed somewhere. So I'm going to use my die and be reborn behavior to hunt around. That's not the right room. I'll just kill myself again. This is the right room for T. Okay, it's got an S block, and that's not a block that was part of the words I know about that I need to spell, but I did make an effort to get up here and spell T, so what can I do with the S block? From this vantage point, I can see that I can only push it west, which will destroy it. But you saw it, maybe the tracers, the trail behind it, it went flying off in that direction. So it's kind of like the ghost of the block leapt from the pit and went to the nearest block pad where it was reborn. Alright, so it seems like there's nothing else I can do in this room. So I'll kill myself. This room has eat. The other one was 8. Okay, so let's get to the east room again, where I can do things with blocks. So I could mess around with block manipulations like a regular player would, but I know this is a pretty easy way to get it to work. Just destroy the rightmost block, push it south, push some eats, and then you heard the that's a letter bridge closing for 8. So I will go explore that. Okay, similar situation. All I can do is push the D block into the spiky pit. And then you saw the ghost of the block just float away. But this time I think the D block went someplace I can access. I'm making note the last word is eat. Okay, D block is up here now. Because we have a block pad underneath it that has the letter D on it. And that was the closest block pad at the time that I destroyed the block. That's why it went to that block pad. Okay, so I'll make the last word, which is eat. When you push blocks, they don't move 1 square. They fly all the way across the room until they hit an obstacle. And yeah, there's no hope of pushing them 1 square at a time. Unless the obstacle just happens to be 1 square away. Okay, these are the rooms I already got what I needed from. Here's the final of the 3 pit rooms. Throw the R down the pit. Throw myself down the pit. I'm back in the east room, and now I've got R and D to play with. So let's go back, check this out. I need to spell tread. Whenever you spell words, you're usually picking a kind of a flat wall to put them against. It's the easiest way to spell things. There's a vertical way of spelling too, but it's not used on this level. So I'm going to destroy all these and just go get the D. Now here there's a slight problem. I can push the D block north, but I can't push it south. I'd have to be on the other side of it. But if I push forward, I push one more time, it'll be destroyed and return just south of me. So then I can turn around and push it south. Oh, then I screwed up, but I'll just go back and fix it. There we go. So then to get the D block in position, I will put it up here. Usually this would take a little more experimentation, but it's not that hard for a player to figure out. I know because I've been watching people in videos go through these rooms. So I'll keep going with E. Okay, now I need to bring the R up. It's positioned similarly to the, what was it, the D. I have to go through, push it through, that pops up north of me, push north, it's in the room. R. So if I were to push it west, it would just be stuck over here. East seems to be the only way to go. Let's do that. Okay. Then T. Okay. I've now spelled the letter bridge. There is another passage here. I can't get up to it. I figure maybe there's some other thing out here that lets me get to it. Okay. So a few things to note. If I had fallen down while the bridge was open, there seems to be quite a bit to explore down there. I don't need the letter bridge to be open to go down though. I can just move north or south. I'll also drop down. Okay, here is the exit room. Mateo, it's going well. It's going well. I'm just doing a demo. Boom, boom. So I could exit now, but that's not the fun thing to do. I want to go explore the rest of the level. So I'm going to drop down. And boy, there are some things. Okay. There's this long stairway off over here. And I'm not going to tell you, I'm going to leave this for the final, what this thing is about. but it's a bit of a secret. Okay, so I'll go back up the stairs. Okay, I notice also there's some kind of ledge over here that I maybe can fling over to from the tread bridge. Okay, then there's, oh, this is just a dead end. Some other passage here to look at. Okay, now I see another letter bridge, and I'm noticing that it shares some of the letters with tread, but there's the S, and you know, I had pushed the S earlier. It went somewhere. I don't know where the S went. As the player. As a designer, yes, I know where it went. Okay. These passages with the low ceiling, I don't like to use them too much. They're not good for doing complicated things inside of, but as connecting passages, they're fine. Okay. So what's this stairway here? Okay, so that is the way back into the room. It's like a one-way passage because you drop down at the end and you can't go back. Okay, then I'll try sledge, and there's stuff over it. There's the S. Come up here. I see things off to the west, but I can't get high enough to go there. It's dark on top, so I don't know if there's floor tiles there or wall tiles. Okay, so the S is here. I could knock it off to the east, but there's a passage just south of it, an opening. It seems made for it, and that would put it probably in that room that I was just in. So I'm going to knock it that way. It goes through the passage. Okay, maybe I should go through the passage too. Okay, now I'm back in the spelling room. The word that I saw on the other letter bridge was trades, and I can see that I have all the letters here to spell it. So I'm going to try just putting them all up in this right hand corner. Okay, and my first letter would be S. I kind of wonder how I'm going to get it there. One thing I don't want to do is smash the block because I'll have to go all the way around to knock it back in. But if I gotta do that, I gotta do it. So if I moved S west, I wouldn't be able to push it north because that would require me moving north from the square where the pit is. If I push S east, it's stuck in this corner. There's no way to get it out. So did I make a mistake? There's one other option. The only option maybe that could do anything is to push it south. So if I go this way and then I push it south, it goes across the room. Can I push it back up north where I had all the other letters? Nope, because it's against this wall here. And there's no place pushing it west or east. So at this point, I'm hoping the player figures out that, you know, there's another way you can spell the words besides the top edge. You can also try it on the bottom edge or the south edge. So I'll try spelling it down there. So trades, last letter is S, next letter is E. Next I need a D. So let's go down here. Oh, no, it's not there. Maybe up here. And I'm like, how do I get it down there? If I go this way, it's blocked. But, alright, I won't prolong this. I know the solution. I'm just kind of sort of walking through his player empathy. So basically you go with the D that way. But I mean, that is how you solve these block puzzles. You just think through the different combinations of paths that are possible for blocks. So I'll get the A up there next. The T is in the way of the R. So let me maybe move the T out of the way temporarily. And then there's the thing where you go around this pillar and you go that way. And oh, but wait, that's not quite right. Okay, and there. And far away, there was a little chirp. It means a bridge closed. So now I'm no longer spelling tread, but back in that other northwest corner, in that low place down here, trades is spelled. So I can try going back to there. So there it is. It's all the bridge is closed. It can be walked across, but from this side, I don't have a way to get to it. So I can just do the old trick of following the right wall to solve the maze. Let's try that. It's not a very complicated maze. Here we go. Okay, so this is another egg. When I step next to it, it makes it the active egg or the home egg. It's the place that M, this creature, will go when she dies. So I don't know as new player what I'm supposed to do with that egg, but I can see a few things. One is that there's stuff behind it from the other directions. Two, I don't see any other unexplored routes. I might have missed something, but I'm pretty sure I haven't. The other thing I know is that the theme of this level, the puzzle theme, is crossroads, and we already used the mechanic of dying and going through different paths after you die from the egg. And this seems to follow the same pattern. So it seems like I should kill myself so that I can try to get on one of those other sides of the egg. So I'll look for a place to kill myself. I can go back into this room here. There's a pit. And kill myself. Sure enough, it took me down to the second egg. And, I've got a path here. I can kill myself again if I want to, but what's down here? There is the present. That was the thing that every level in the game has. That, if you haven't found the present yet on a level, it's there somewhere. Okay, so now there's no place else I can go. Every level has exactly one present. Not two, not zero. It's got one present. Okay, this is also stuck. Now I've made a full loop. I've done all four of the directions, and I'm coming back out the way I came. Okay, so the last thing left to do is just cross over this bridge. I spelled it once. I can spell it again. Let's see if there's an easier way to do it this time. I was just wondering if would it be possible to spell it along the south edge? I'll leave that for somebody else to figure out. Okay, so I just put all the blocks back to the original position. Oh, I guess I don't need this one yet. Oh, I got it reversed. You gotta spell things backwards. D first. Alright, before I exit this level, I'll show you what I'm going to try to fix in this session. So the block pads, they used to be smaller, and then it had the problem that if a block is on a block pad, you can't tell that there's a block pad underneath it. So I made the block pads a little bit larger, and now they give a cue that there's a block on top. And that solved one problem, but it created a different problem. This block pad is extending beyond the square out into the wall. So if I'm in a narrow passage, or if there's a number of block pads close together, they don't fit inside a square. So that's the problem I'm going to solve in this session. I've got a pretty easy way to solve it. Okay, so I have found all but one of the secrets in this level, and that one I will save for the final game. Okay. Oh. Teo, how's your game going? What, Wizard, right? Is it called Wizard? Is that the name of it? That's the trouble with stream chatting. I can't really tell who's still hanging around or not. I suppose I could get like one of those things where it shows all the people as like little avatar type creatures walking around the screen in an overlay. Yeah, maybe I should update my streaming software. Do things like that. Okay, so the block pad. There's a few things I want to fix with it, but there's really only a few things. I was first thinking of something more complicated, and I don't need something complicated. What I need is a miniature block pad, or one that fits inside of a square, which is like the original design, and then another prefab which has it extended. Okay. The other thing I think might be worth doing is just adding some more polygons around the edge of it, so that it's not so it doesn't look so damn low poly. I mean, I can afford a few more polygons. So here you see what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 12 sides, I think. Let's splurge. Let's do 24, whatever it takes to make it just look okay when you're a little bit close up. So I'm going to play with that a little bit. But the first thing is going to be super easy. All I got to do is take this guy, X and Z, and put it back to 1. That's it. That's all I got to do. That's the original design. This is an example of one where I'd leave it large because it's not in a tight spot. And then there's a little bit of busy work in that I have to go back to the previous 20 levels and replace these disconnected prefabs. When you see this unpack at the end, that's an instruction to me that says in order for this to work reliably, you need to unpack it. And in this case, I'm a little bit resentful that I need to unpack it because the problem is that Text Mesh Pro has a bug where in the player build, it will not update with the property that's been set to it. It takes whatever is in the prefab. So in order for me to get past that hateful bug, I have to unpack these block pads. And as a result, when I update the design of this, I will need to go back throughout the levels, 20 of them, and replace maybe 30 or 40 block pads with the new improved block pad. So it'll be a little bit irritating and busy work, but won't be too bad. Alright, so let me create an alternative block pad. So we got the pipe and the radius should be much smaller. 0.5 I think is what we want. Height should be like 0.1. Number of sides 24. That would make it twice what it was. I might have to do this more than once to get this right. Okay, thickness. Start with 0.1. It's already looking a lot better. I got really cheap on the polygons here. Well, that's not bad. And most of the time you're going to be looking at it from like up here. Occasionally the camera might zoom in something like this. It still seems to be holding up. But what the heck. Let's do 32. And I'll call it good. Okay. Let me check the height on the other one. I think I did about 0.1. I'm literally reinventing the wheel. Okay. Then I'll make the wondering if there was like a disc. Maybe I just need to make a cylinder. That's probably it. So radius 0.45. Oops. Number of sides. Now for this I do not need as many sides. Height 0.05. Height segment 0. Smoothing doesn't matter. Oh, Jesus. Oh. Unity just crashed. like, I wasn't doing anything that big. Okay, this is what I hate about Unity. Okay, so they've got a bug reporter. I could report a bug. Here's what happens when I report a bug. Also, I like the status. There is no fix available. Well, it says in the same message, we will now try to fix for the crash. Please wait. Status, there is no fix available. Like, I hope that they actually wrote code to check, but as far as I know, this is just one text string and they just display it all the time. That's probably a little too cynical. Okay, report a bug. Okay, now I want to be a good citizen and tell them that their software is broken. They don't really want me to type in any information unless I come correct. And I'm not gonna send my project files to them. That would be ridiculous. You know what? Let me. I'm gonna try this one more time. I'll say this is the first time. Describe the problem. While creating, let's see, Pro Builder. Okay. Unity process exit while creating Pro Builder cylinder. I really will try to help them out. It's just I find this thing a little bit daunting, and I don't know if they're actually gonna read it and do anything with it. They might. I might be being a jerk. Okay, what happened? I was using the create object feature Pro Builder. I selected cylinder and while adjusting properties for the cylinder, the Unity process exited. No error messages displayed. It was an instant exit. Okay. I have no idea. You could try making cylinders with Pro Builder maybe. Okay. I'm sorry, but I do not want to attach my entire project and upload to you. It's big. Okay, remove this. Remove GK. All right, and then let's send. Hopefully that helps. I like to be a good citizen. I do. Now it's uploading the report. I think one time I did actually try to send my whole project to them, and this thing was like stuck way at this end for hours or something like that. I don't know. Okay. No, just close that. Let's get back to what I was doing. Let's also close the windows that might cause me privacy issues. Okay. Alright, that's a different level. That's good. Hey, Kilted Ninja. What's going on? Yeah, I suppose this isn't a bad level to do my work in. It does have some examples of block pads that I would want to fix. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm just fixing things that are bothering me on this session, and I'm gonna make the block pads look better than they do. So this is like one of the older block pads that are of the type where they don't extend past the square boundaries, and it also has the downside that you can't see when it's underneath of the block. But in this case it makes sense to use a smaller one because I've got all the block pads right next to each other and I don't want them the mesh to go through each other. So I will attempt making a new block pad again. Hopefully Unity doesn't crash on me in the middle. Ninja, what have you been up to? Alright, so let's try this again. First it was the pipe. Pipe had radius 0.5. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what your project was. But okay, what was your game? Maybe you didn't tell me. So some of people's different projects run together in my head, but I do actually have an interest in them. Okay, that's right. That's right. And you were talking about the challenges of the AI. Let's see, thickness. 0.1, number of sides. Cool. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. That looks a little bit too large compared to the other. Oh, I'm not snapped on Y. Let me get snapped on Y. Huh. Sounds familiar in a weird way, but if you go all the way back to the 90s, my first game I wrote in Visual Basic and then rewrote it in C++. So, but yeah, I don't know if it probably actually just in a very shallow way it's similar. Height, that's got to be something else. 0.08 maybe. Oh yeah, that's it. Okay, so build that one, close that one. Okay, so that seems all right. Let's make the disk part. So the other thing I want to fix with this is like these edges, they're just so friggin' low poly, I can't even stand it. So this new one will be a little bit rounder. Doesn't look bad when your camera's up at the normal height, but then like you go down a little bit when the ceiling ducks underneath you, or the ceiling forces you to duck, and then it looks too low poly. So you could say you were prototyping. That's how you add more respectability to a project you gotta throw away and redo. Also, you got all your assets too. You got your assets, like you got your graphics, and you got algorithms to copy across and stuff like that. So you're not starting from scratch. But yeah, that's a good engineering move. So whenever you fuck up and you gotta start over, I was prototyping. I was definitely prototyping. All right, now this is where Unity completely crashed on me, like in the most no warning kind of way. So I'm quite curious what it's going to do this time. I'm doing exactly what I just did 15 minutes ago. I left the sides at 16. The height needs to go down to, let's see, this might have been where it crashed. I took off smooth. I remember that. Okay. If I have to save every 2 seconds, I'm deleting Unity from my drive and starting over. I'll rewrite it in Visual Basic. I'm okay with saving every 2 minutes, but every 2 seconds, I was just like, the cause is lost at that point. All right, the height. Here's where it could crash. Let's see, the first one didn't, 0.1, or they changed it to 0.08. Let's do 0.04. Okay, I think it's gonna survive. I'll click the build button. Okay. Oh, these guys. I forgot about these guys. They're super irritating. Yeah, I remember ranting about them incessantly, and then I just figured out if I change this and this, they're no longer jumping in front of all my clicks. So that was actually fairly important. Okay, now can I grab it? Nope, this one is jumping in front of my clicks, so shrink it down. Man, all these guys. All of them. Okay. I suppose I could just move these pieces far away from these blocks, but I was finished doing all this. So each one of those letters has a giant invisible collider, or like a area where the text could appear, forming this giant polygonal shape. So for me to click on this other piece I want to click to, I have to shrink all this stuff down. And I did in the prefab, but because a bug in TextMesh Pro forced me to unpack my prefabs. Yes, I can. You're right. You're right. Sometimes I enjoy ranting about stupidity too much. Let's see, what are the things called? Uploader. Let's do this. So I'll just say 1, no, 1, 1, no, 1. Okay. West letter. One. Oh, that would be interesting. No, but I suppose I could do this. Okay, so we say east letter. These ones too, yeah. All right, let's do them all once. Let's not be stupid. Let's not be a stupid Eric. Let's be a smart ninja. Oh, no, there's some other ones mixed in there that are maybe not the same. Okay, let's just try east letter to start. Okay. Is that? Okay, yeah, it is. Okay. Okay, and this one, does it have that? It does. Okay. And do these have it? 1, 1. Okay. Okay, those ones are good. All right. All that, so I can click on this. There, now I can click on it. It's so ridiculous. Okay. And this looks okay. Let's move it over. Okay, that gets it in place. And this dude over here, I think I'll just position without snapping for this one. Boom. Maybe that's right. It doesn't look bad. Okay. So then this guy here, it's got up letter. I don't necessarily recommend it, but I use Pro Builder. With exceptions, but almost everything you see is Pro Builder modeled. It's not the winner's way. I'll say that. It's the indie that's wearing too many hats way, and has a game where the look that Pro Builder can create somewhat matches what they want. Yeah, exactly. So if you're thinking indie and like you don't have like a whole team that's gonna have that division of labor where one person is making really badass models and prefabs and another is assembling them together in levels, then if it's the same person, you get a nice efficiency advantage in just being able to model with the same tools that you use for level composition. But it's got its limitations. Yeah, definitely. And the character models I don't bother to try to do in Pro Builder. There's a digital artist that's helped me out with that. His name is Isak Adivas. Okay, so take the up letter. Let's make a copy of that. This pipe and cylinder. I'll try to follow the same pattern. Project prefabs level. Yeah, that's kind of how it works. You know that scene in The Matrix where Neo loads in like kung fu and then he loads in guns, and then there should be another scene where they show like because his brain is limited that something else like got discarded from it when he loaded in the gun stuff and the kung fu stuff. So I used to, when I was younger, sort of have this idea like your brain is just ready to put like so much stuff there. Like, you know, it was like a myth for a while that we're only using 10% of our brains, when they were just looking at some MRIs and seeing that electrical activity at any point in time was only in 10% of the brain. Now my model is there's room for some things to be loaded in, but something else has to go. Something else gets forgotten. So, yeah, if you're not constantly using Blender, you're not refreshing that information and those neuron connections and all that, and it just goes. And if you've got to hop between a whole bunch of programs, it gets even dicier. You start slowing down as you switch. So that's why I'm a little bit molded too with some of these tasks. You might have been too, like when you were making your art assets. Did you mix that all in with your programming time, or did you kind of switch over to make art for a bit? Okay, this uploader. Okay, so it's blockpad. Okay. Okay, so we'll call, actually let's unpack this. Now, let's move this over to where the new one is. Unpack it. Offset stays as it is. Oh, except that's like that is the inner disk thing. Okay. Oh, you're doing like pixel art. That's why you used Excel, right? That's awesome. I think I understand your process. Maybe I don't, but oh no, okay. How are you using Excel to make your art? Vector shapes, because it's got like some kind of vector drawing stuff that is part of it. Cool, cool. All right, so the cylinder and the pipe. I have to remember not to save this level, just to save the prefabs. Oh, this is a dumb way to do this. I just want to get everything together in one spot. No, I'm not going to do it that way. I'll drop that there for now. Yeah, that's one thing. Yeah, so Excel was your version of my Pro Builder. All right. Copy that. Come back up to the top. This is the new one. Can I paste into this? Yeah, I should be able. No, you're going to put it all the way down at the bottom? No, that's not what I want. All right. What's that one? That's the pipe. Got the cylinder too. There's the cylinder. I will lose it if I don't put it in a better spot. Okay, let's just kind of cut. Okay. And then, okay, just keep that. Paste. Okay, move this down here. The cylinder is going to be the replacement for the offset. The pipe will be the pipe. It can go inside the cylinder. Up, let her move to the cylinder. Okay. Have to name this offset for the code to work right. Okay, and then the pipe is blockwood 2. Okay. Delete this one. I probably don't need it. Okay. Okay, offset old is blockwood 1. It's looking a lot different. What happened there? It didn't change it. What am I looking at? Oh, that's a copy. That's all. Okay, cool. Delete that. Delete that. All right, so let's check this out again. See So you should have blockpad discovery. Good. Let's call this one blockpad small. What's, oh, so the thing is, if I take the time to name every single thing in this, there's thousands, man, thousands and thousands. So I don't know. So offset is a convention, and it's a convention supported by code. It handles a very common problem within Unity where the parent game object is not positioned at the right offset that you want for your square. So this offset is just there to kind of nudge it in the right spot. Up letter, yeah, that's pretty self-descriptive. I can take a little time and say ring, I guess. But you know, if there's like an object and it's got like 20 meshes in it or something, I come up with names for each thing. Even just for like a chair, it's like southwest chair leg bevel. You know, it's just, it gets stupid after a while. The top level objects I do use. I do give names to. Then there's a thing where I have some scene organization code where it will sometimes dismantle objects if I haven't set them up right. And it'll leave these game objects that are unattached to their parent objects, but they're still not hurting anything. So in order for me to make sure that doesn't happen, you actually reminded me of something kind of important. I need to put this don't organize thing on it. Okay, don't organize, ring, don't organize. Yeah, there's a lot of editor-only code I've written for this. So most of my decisions are kind of a trade-off between investment in doing things right, and then if that investment doesn't really pay off, then I'll let it go. So I'm always kind of playing with that trade-off. So I could have spent maybe 3 days figuring out the bug inside of TextMesh Pro that needed me to unpack these, or I could just put a little word on the end that says unpack and it reminds me to unpack. I still don't know if I made the right decision, but I'd have to do it the other way to know. Okay, so let me think. Blockpad small. Let's put A there. Let's try. Kind of seems like I didn't scale this letter properly, so let me fix that. Yeah, it's scaled to 1.25. TMP. TMP. What? I'm not sure what you're referring to with TMP. Okay, do I got this? Static. Ignore raycast. Let me make sure that's on all the child layers. Same for static. Oh yeah, now I understand. Okay, so the bug is that in the player build only, not inside of the editor, the wrong letters would appear on blocks, and it was particularly infuriating because I could only get it in player build. So in order to test it out, I had to make a player build, which always takes at least 3 minutes. I could see the problem there. There's no good reason for it. But if I unpacked my prefabs, it would show the right letters on the blocks. So if it was a bug that showed up in the editor, I mean like hit play within the editor and you can see it there, then I just would have gone about fixing it in a more straightforward way. But since it only showed in the player and there were no hints, there was nothing that really showed me how to get past it. I did try a few things. I just went with this unpacking thing. Yeah, I mean the global object that that matches that is the prefab. So it was taking whatever letter was set in the prefab and ignoring what the local override of the game object properties was in the scene, and merely using what was in the prefab. I fixed it by just unpacking so that it didn't have the prefab instance to get from. And like I said, only in the player builds. So it's like, I think that's on them. Any bug that shows up in the player build but not the editor, I put that on text mesh. But it's not about my rants. It's about getting things working, getting the game released. Okay, so that's blockpad small. And then I'll make the larger version of this. Yeah, here's another example of nonsense. So sometimes Text Mesh Pro decides it'll show these letters right through the object. It'll go away after a while. I didn't change these. I did not change these prefabs. It just decided it was going to start doing that just now. In fact, these are unpacked prefabs. So yeah, that's TM Pro for you. If I get one more TM Pro problem with the blocks, just one more, I'm just making my own map of the letters and I'll use that. Just one more. It's like I'm driving the car and TM Pro is the kid in the back seat that's been testing my patience the whole time, and it's like, just one more thing, TM Pro, we're not going to Disneyland. I'm turning the car around. All right, so the other one is blockpad large. Let's duplicate this, rename it. Okay, and then I already did this once, and it worked for some cases, not others, but I think that'll do it. It's no longer centered, so I gotta fix that. That's kind of what the offset's for. There. All right, move this guy over here. And this guy I will probably delete. But before I do that, this will make you happy. I'm going to do a git commit so I don't have a hard time going back to where I was. Wow, quite a bit there. How to summarize all that work. Level design, a few bug fixes, before deleting old block pad. Yeah. Yeah, if I was doing this right, I think if I was like finding the right balance for myself, I think I would do it after each feature or bug fix. Then the commits would make some sense to me. I've also got a nightly backup that just syncs everything, and then I have like one disk for Monday, Tuesday, each day of the week. So I guess rolling backup, you call it. So I can always go back that way too if I want. And I have screwed things up, and I just put the backup tape from last night in and copy files over, and that works. But the commit's pretty nice for going back. Okay. So this is a garbage set of changes in this level. Yeah, and I've got a fireproof safe that every once in a while I put project archives into that. What I no longer trust anymore is any of the offsite backup options like Dropbox or iCloud. I had really bad experiences with that, and I just said, nope, from now on I'm just doing my own backups. Okay, so let's go ahead and delete this guy. I say I will not use it anymore. Okay. Then let's go to different scenes just to discard the changes in this one. All right, maybe let's go through them in alphabetical order and make replacements. Don't save. That's garbage. Don't save it. What am I looking? Oh yeah. Okay. All right. So this is a good level to start with. The thing that happened to me with Dropbox is it got tripped up on symbolic links, and they made a decision that they were going to stop supporting symbolic links. And I had done some clever stuff with symbolic links that let me sort of share files between computers. Yeah. And somebody had thought through a migration policy. I appreciate that they did have some kind of policy. Yeah, like, it's a really loud plane. Symbolic link says that one folder maps to another location. That's all. So they stopped supporting it, but their migration that they had planned deleted all the files for the symbolic link on my computer and put all of those files on a safekeeping folder on their server. So they did have some kind of plan. So I saw all the files deleted, and it wasn't just from one computer, it was from 3 computers. And then I thought, okay, fine, they got it all on their server, I will just copy it back off their server. But there were errors in their access to the files that were on their server. So I couldn't get to it. I could see all my files, I could see all half year's worth of work, and I couldn't even get it. And then I went through support with them, And because of privacy restrictions, they had me sending like screenshots of my session to them. Well, I actually appreciate the privacy restrictions that they had, but there was like no way to get anything done with them because they couldn't do something like log into my account to figure out what was going on. Yeah, so half your work held hostage like ransomware on somebody else's server, except you can't pay them money to get it. So I did like kind of scrape together files in a way that sort of, I got all the source code, I got all the source code back off. I got all the assets. I had like some backups I assembled together, but it was, that was it. That was the end of me using any kind of online backup solution. I won't ever do it again. It can only be a backup to my backup. Gotta roll my own. That's how it is from now on. Okay, let's get these block pads replaced. So it might take me a little while to figure out the very best way to do it, but I think it's probably going to be click on the block pad, copy the transform, delete, bring in the new block pad, paste the transform. It didn't quite work, did it? Where'd you go? Alright, where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where are you? Where's the little... Wait, you're off in a weird place. Okay. I don't think that's going to work real great. Let me get this in the right area, and then I might have to redo the prefab. It makes me think too, maybe all these little policies that people have, they only protect against the thing that already happened to them one time. And the next bad thing that happens to them will have nothing to do with the last bad thing. So maybe the most rational thing to do every time you get screwed over is just say, shit happens. And just move on without worrying about it too much. It's like, then like the next thing that gets me won't be a backup. It'll be like, vampires. Oh, you didn't know about vampires. Now you know. You were too worried about backups. Okay, so I know the location of the block is set correctly. 1327 negative 43. So let's copy that. Let's take the block unpack. Oh, this one, it does look like it's in the right spot. Okay, that's better. I don't know what happened last time. Maybe I grabbed the wrong thing. I don't know. Okay, that's block pad large, unpack. Terabytes. That's terrible. And we'll get all unpacking at once at the end. Okay, so this one is also going to be large. I know what happened. I copied the transform from the wrong thing. So do copy from the top level. Copy component. Delete component. Really? What am I missing? What am I missing? So you went where? Like way over there? Oh, it's because it's out here and not within the level. Okay. Okay, I think I got it. It's a local offset. So maybe I don't use that whole copy paste thing. Oh, I gotta also remember to set the letter. Alright. Pretty easy to introduce bugs with this. This is one of those invest versus slog decisions. Should I try to write some kind of prefab replacer? So every time I write code around prefabs, it's always time consuming and weird and has extra effects that aren't documented and stuff like that. So I'm going to say that's probably 4 hours of work to write a prefab replacer that does everything I want. It was probably a couple hours of work to fix up these block pads manually. Yeah, thank you. It's just I mean the logistics of getting the project and all the stuff to you might be a bit of a hassle right now. But I mean, thank you. That's really awesome. Also, I got this thing too. Is like I want to like pay people when they're actually doing like something that takes hours. I'm trying not to be somebody that just kind of relies on the kindness of strangers. Let me just take a look for snippets. Unity prefab replacer. Let me see. What am I looking at? Oh, this looks pretty good. Maybe. This thing here might be exactly what I want though, which would be pretty cool. Let's see, how are they doing that? So (2017), that's not too old. Yeah, it might be a programmatic version of what I was just doing just now, a little bit unsuccessfully. Yeah, so let's see. If you click the button replace, it looks at the selected game objects. It goes through each one of them. Prefab is like an editor property. Okay, so prefab type gets that. Okay, if it's a prefab, then we say instantiate the prefab. Else we say, all right, two different ways of instantiating. Okay, gives it the same name as the prefab here. If we couldn't instantiate, error handling. This so we can undo if it doesn't work out. This is, as you were saying, copying the transform, the position, rotation, scale, sibling index. It's not going to copy across any custom properties, but that's not too bad though. I can fix those. Yeah, this looks pretty good. I can understand it too. It's not something crazy. So let me just try this. And it won't be 4 hours. Maybe it'll just be like 4 minutes. That's tempting fate to even say that out loud. True that. Okay. Okay, so let's fix some of this stuff. Maybe just rename that. Menu item, tools, replace with prefab. Okay. Take a look at this other stuff. Yeah, okay, yeah, I understand it well enough to try it out. All right, let's see if it compiles, shows up in the menu. There we go. So this should bring up, wait a minute. Oh, there's an object field. Let's see what happens. Huh, Okay. So, I don't want to replace that. Let's go to this next one. Whoops. See this stupid little thing with the double letters? Ugh. Stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Okay, that one is a good one. Here's a bad one. Okay, now that's selected. Okay, then we go get the prefab that we want, which will be blockpad large. Alright, here goes. Oh! Yes! Oh, man. Good decisions were made and they paid off. Success, yeah, it was like the old version that just immediately updated the new one. I'll show you again. I'll show you again on the next one. But let me make sure I get this set right. So this one is G. All right. So here, let's do a whole bunch all at one time. You know, even I'll write some code that tries to set this letter maybe. Nah, I'll come back to that. Okay, so let's go with let's be daring. Let's just take them all. All the ones I haven't already switched over. Okay, so then I've got those all selected. Let's do replace with prefab, and this time I'll pick the small one. I think the rest of them are all. Anyways, okay. So I've got the small one. All right. And keep your eye on those 4. And here we go. There it goes. It's good. It's a good tool. Good, simple tool. Does the job. I do have to make sure I get these letters set right. Yeah, it's nice when sometimes things go the opposite way of Murphy's Law. Yep. Okay, I gotta fix these up. I just got a text or something. Let's check that. Okay, so my other one's down here. Yeah, these ones are kind of messed up. So those ones actually should replace them a second time to make them the large ones. So I want these to be large. Let me see if they're all right in this collection here. Let's see. Okay, that one needs to be small, ironically, because it's in the corner. So leave that one alone. What about the next one? Okay, that one should be large. That one should be large. That one should be large. Okay. Yeah, exactly. I think I will write that code for the next set of changes. this block back where it was. I'm just going to hide the blocks so I can get to the block pads underneath them. Oh, there must be some more. Okay. Yeah. I love a good snippet, you know? Good snippet is a nice thing. Like you're not pulling in a whole library or framework, and it just does the job quickly. You can understand it all in one file. Go to Twitch, and I'll drop it in the chat window. There we go. All right. Now I gotta fix all these guys. Okay. And these two I got mixed around, unfortunately, so. Works like a champ. Okay, so that's an H. This one's an O. 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 Okay, I got something to fix up here. R and G, and then this one is, what is this one? It's a T. Okay, let's fix this guy. So my strategy here is to make these guys large until they need to be small, because large, they're more easy to deal with. Let's see, what was it? It was T. All right, let's take another look at these. R, N, G, T. Oh, I gotta do these two. Okay, and those ones should be small because they're in that tight little corner there. So this is H, E, L. And I definitely will write that little bit of get component code for the next level. Okay, did I get them all? Over here, open. Yeah, this is going to be a lot better. All right, let's bring the blocks back. I think the way I fixed this before with the letters showing through, so I just went to the original prefab. And I came back out. That's all I did. I didn't even make an edit to it. These guys were already unpacked. So weird and janky. This TMP. Okay, let's look at unpack. Okay, so I'm gonna play through this level just to test and make sure I didn't break anything and just validate my approach. Let's go ahead and save it. If it's actually garbage, I can just use git to revert it. Yeah, remember how I said just one more time, one more thing that makes me turn the car around, not go Disneyland? Not going to Disneyland means doing exactly what you just said. Yeah, you just make a texture and a little atlas for it, or if you want to be simple about it, just lay them all out on equidistant cells. Yeah, it's not that hard. Particularly if we write that shader, you know, the tile shader, just reuse that code. Okay, this looks good so far. And I'm somewhat relieved to see these guys not going over each other like they were. Okay. Okay. Yeah. With the small and the large pads, I get the best of both worlds. Okay. R. And let's see them go back to their pad. Looking good. All right, that works. So let's write that code that copies across the letter. And I think I just saved this. I'll save it again. Okay, let's see. Have you ever seen the American Office? Anyways, when you say nice in all caps, it's like that one guy in the American Office who goes, nice. Okay. There's one character. I like the British Office too. I actually want to at some point go back and rewatch British Office. Let's see. All right, let me make this mine. We'll put it under Godkiller. I kind of don't like this whole dependency inversion thing for this. I've got a different way of doing that. I'll call this public. Okay, replace with large block pads. I'm getting too complicated. It's not going to help me that much. Okay. Maybe later. Okay, so prefab type. Okay, here we'll say set common properties. Okay. Let's see. Copy known component properties. So we'll say selected game object to new game object. Okay. Okay, so this, if I just write this, and I think I'll make it somewhat extendable, so I can use it for something else. From object to object. Okay. And this guy, put in my menu. This is what I was talking about with the dependency injection. I don't want to have code all over the place that is just populating the menu. It'll just be too hard to figure it out after it gets larger. So we'll say okay, I'm just adding into my own menu. Replace prefabs. Okay, replace selected with prefab. Okay, and then this is prefab. Replacer. Okay, I think that should work. So let's go to the next level. Average death compass. So there's many block paths. Let me just look at them briefly, see. Are they? Okay, I've got actually not that many block paths. There's one there, which should be large, and then in this room here, there's 3 more that should be large. And then in these little corridors, those should be small. So I'll do the 2 small ones first, and the rest I'll do large. Okay, so for that, let's just do 1 to start, see if the new code works. Okay, so this one is going to be replaced with small. Didn't work. Assertion failure. Value is false. Let's try out the undo. Okay, and we'll try it again. This time I'll put a debugger on it. Okay. Just pausing for a moment, thinking about privacy issues. Are there any privacy issues with the link? Should I look at it off stream? Okay. Yeah, it looks familiar. Yeah. Yeah, no, we could. I'm guessing you're thinking along the lines of, can we just replace, the TM Pro with, something like this. Yeah. Like I said, I'm close. I'm close to doing it, but I'm not quite ready to do it. But anyways, thanks for sending them. Let me see what is wrong with the new code. Let me make sure that we can get at least to here. I must have. I think it ran all the way through here. Did destroy this down here. Yeah, it's like I have to put them in a texture and everything, and do like the UV mapping to the right place and all that. So I'm not like ready to jump into that. Okay. Let's see. Prefab. Okay, this is a small one. I'm sure it would look fine. It's just that I have to write some more code, not just to put them on the block, but like if you are going and editing in the inspector which letter is supposed to show, I have to write the code that would change the letter to be that texture. So there's maybe, I don't know, a couple hours of work to switch over to that. And they're basically working. It's just every once in a while I get this little glitchy thing with them, which is not too bad. Okay. Okay, so that all works. And something's going to fail in this function, probably. Okay. Non-null. Non-null. Yeah. Wait a minute, what's from? Okay, that looks right. Okay, do we get the components? No, we don't. But they're both null, so it seems like it should return without causing an error. Why am I not getting the component? Oh, it's block pad discovery. That's why. It's not block discovery. It's block pad discovery. That's why. Okay. And insertion probably had to do with something entirely different, not that code. Okay. Then let's check. Is it the same property on block pads? Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. All right, let's try it one more time. Okay. Oh, I can just leave that. Oh, it's another nice thing. Except that it didn't copy the friggin' letter. Okay. Why? What's the problem? Come on. What's the problem? What's the problem? Okay, you got from non-null to non-null. To letter R from letter Wait, it's already changed? Oh, I know why. I know why. I changed the property, but I didn't do, there's no onValidate event. So what I should do is just make a public method on discovery that sets and updates. Okay. So yeah, now let's do this. Yeah, I'm not getting it. That should have done it. Property there is set to A instead of R. Maybe there's an extra copy that's there? No? Okay. So let's undo it. The undo works really nice. Oh good, it remembers the previous thing. Okay. So if I say have execute always? Yep. Yeah, I'm in the debugger though. I mean, I can see the values. So that's the next thing I'll do is I'll just step through here. I mean, I could use debug log, but I figure I'll just use the debugger. Okay, so this is going to set the flag, which should cause the update. To letter is R, right? That's the expected value. From letter is R. This will set apply to true, and then when it goes to the update loop, it should make an update there. Let me see what the letter is set now to. R. Okay, that's good. Now what's the letter set to? I'm on update now. Is it R? No, it changed to A. So between frames, I think it must have something to do with the instantiation being on one frame but not being all the way complete yet. Oh, that's annoying. I mean, I could like have delayed code. That's one option. It's kind of like, that's similar to what I was thinking. So I was saying I could do a delayed call, which is very similar to what you said. It is fairly complicated. So is there something I missed though? Because it just feels weird that the text would change again. Is there some other code in here that's setting it? So letter could be set. No, that won't set it. Okay, here it's going to set all this based on the letter being A. Yeah, and it gets a little more complicated because the original code I wrote would have to make reference to the old game object, which will have been deleted by the time that this delayed call is made. So I'd have to have some intermediate storage to place the changes that would be made later on. Yeah, so now I'm just thinking, what's a good way to do this? And if I have to, I could just go back to my manual setting of properties, which wouldn't be that bad. I've got the main thing done, which was kind of tricky. Okay, I'll think about it for about 3 more minutes, and then I'll use the manual follow-up method. Okay. So yeah, I know what this code will do. From object to object. Anything else down here? Is anything tricky down here? I don't think so. All right. Then what I do is I write a note to myself to remind me what troubles I had last time. Okay. In fact, let's go ahead and good status. All right. Hate to do it. Right, component copying. It gets overwritten. Let me try one other thing. Let's do something like I was going to do something similar. So instead of using my weird update code, I was going to call something that will complete it in the same frame. So it's a similar idea to inlining it, but inlining would be kind of a lot of copying and pasting. But we're thinking along the same lines. So if I say let's get rid of this, no longer called. So we'll say, maybe redundantly in some cases, letter equals new letter, and then all this stuff. Let me just leave a note. I don't want to run off on that tangent yet. Though usually when there's a method, I don't know, it's worth a shot. That would take a long time to test out. I don't want to go run off and do it because I have to make a player build. Solve player build prefab issue. Okay. So then we go back to here. I'll step into this code one time. Maybe. Okay. Okay. New letter will be R. So far, as expected. Nope, doesn't work. Okay. So this is more complicated code than what I had before, so I'm going to put it back. Or, you know, I could do something a little bit. Let's do, I'll go ahead and encapsulate it a little bit. Let's see. Is that child letter? Nope, no static. Okay, so this stuff inside there didn't work. I'm just going back to manual setting. At this point, it's kind of crossing that threshold of the problem being too involved to invest in to save a little bit of manual time. So then I go back to the prefab replacer, like this, note, problems, copying components, component values would be nice, but it seems to override changes on next frame update. See previous git commit. Alright. Take this out. Okay. Yeah, it's just a constant struggle between invest or slog. Alright, so then if I come back to here, this just changes to R done. Okay. And I can come over to the other one. This one will be a D. Oh, I do want to become famous. Okay. Alright, I'm going to clear the window, the chat window on the stream, just to minimize the amount of exposure the stupid spam bot gets. Alright, so the rest of these block pads are replaced with large. There's 4 of them. Where's the, oh, the other one's up top. Okay, cool. Okay, I gotta remember, ETA. Did it replace? Oh, it did, but the blocks on top are confusing me because they have letters. Okay. So, E. T. Okay. Let's do the unpacks. All right. 2 levels down. If I just kind of rush through the rest, I'll get through before 8 o'clock. Yeah, it's helpful. Okay, so scenes. Okay, the average death basement. Deep corridor does not have a block pad. First death, I don't think it does. I'm gonna double check. Oh, there are block pads. Cool. And these are the ones that should be small instead of large, because if you hide the blocks, you can see that they overlap like a Venn diagram or a MasterCard logo. Okay, so block pads. Yeah, lots of spikes. It's the first level where we've got spikes. Deadly, deadly spikes all over the place. Turn these guys back on. Okay, 3 levels down. Actually more than that, because some don't have block pads. I can skip past those faster. So 1, 2, deep corridor, first death, first ice. It's got stuff. Or maybe it doesn't. Yeah, no blocks on this one, that's right. Okay. Good. Making good time. Ice plus blocks. Definitely has block pads. So I think there's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They should all be large. Yeah. Okay. That's cool. Might be able to just grab the edge of it that's poking through. Yes, that's a nice way to do it. Yes. Because I can see up above it the block which tells me which letter belongs there. D L. Okay, then I'll just unpack these. And save. Okay, ice plus blocks. In the egg has no block pads, kill a block. It's got block pads. I'm always just first looking at it to remind myself what's in the level. Okay, so there's 3 there to fix and then 2 over the side. They should all be small. Five, so my count matches. I'm looking forward to watching the second half of the new Borat movie tonight. It's kind of a guilty pleasure. Boom. Did you watch it? The first half, man, I was laughing so hard. The part that is, it means I've kind of got to watch it on my own without my wife. This is the guilty pleasure part, is like all the stuff about, the jokes about like trafficking, human trafficking. I mean, that's basically what Borat's doing the whole time. Yeah, I love the stunts he pulls off with real people too. So, I think I got this one all unpacked. Okay. Bolted Boa, what's going on? Oh yeah. I mean, there have been some situations where like you know, his crew had to come in and get him out of fights and stuff, but yeah, he's got physical courage to do some of that stuff. I do like math. I'm not real good at it, but I do like it. Math is my friend. How about you? Okay, kill a block. This one's got it. So this game is called the Godkiller. It's a puzzle-solving adventure game. There's a story to it. But mainly you go around solving puzzles. Quite a few have to do with pushing blocks. But then sometimes you fight other creatures or manipulate other things. I'm an engineering manager that makes websites. Or I should say my team makes one website. Okay, so I see a bunch of large block pads, one small one over here. It's right next to this guy. I know some, yeah. Yeah. Okay, no block pads on the bottom floor. Okay. I'm thinking maybe I'll leave this one large so it goes underneath the pillar a little bit. It's not going to kill anything. But yeah, the day job for me is not really about programming. It's about managing programmers. So I don't really do much web coding these days. But yeah, I got the basics. I get the basics. All right, let's see how this replaces. All right. Then let's go through, fix up the letters. Let's go top to bottom so I don't miss any. Oh yeah. I'm not sure if Dreamweaver is discontinued or not. It's not as popular as it used to be. I'm sure of that. I haven't checked the Adobe Suite to see if it's still there. But yeah, okay, that one I did get. Yes, good. This one. Oh. W. think that's fine. Intersects a little bit. Yeah, nowadays Ninja, you probably write it with Excel. Because you like to do everything in Excel. Let's see. Okay, so that is that. Let's unpack. Okay, then go on to the next scene. Okay, kill a block Larry chamber. Level selector, little arena. Yeah, little arena's got a few. That counts. That definitely counts. Okay. Okay, it's got blocks, but I don't know that it's got block pads. I might as well fix these hands while I'm here. That won't take long. Well, what does standard look like? Standard looks fine. I don't need it to be a fancy shader. Let's go back out here. Yeah, it actually looks maybe better. Maybe too good though. Because now they look super realistic. Huh. Play with that more later. Okay, back to what I was doing. Also, Ninja, you don't realize it, but you being here actually stops me from going off to this on these little rabbit holes and distractions and stuff. So it kind of forces me not to indulge that, because I'm like, I know the ideal version of my programmer self that I want to be, and it's not the one that goes off and does that. So even though you're offering me tangents, just the fact that there's like another person here, and I'm trying like to, you know, like do things the right way in front of an audience, actually probably affects me for the better. Okay, lower basement, middle basement. Alright, this one's got a ton of block pads, but they all have the same letter. They can all be large. Go ahead. Okay, I reduce my need to do much with that in this particular game. Oh, are you talking about like level state or other types of data? You're probably talking about other types of data. So you're not talking about like saving that the player picked up a certain object when they picked up something in a level, like stuff you. Okay. So I'm a little bit old school about player data. And I've done something which other people would say that's not the nice Unity way to do it, but it's how I do it. I would say use scriptable objects or something like that. But there's a really simple API. Hey, Matteo. Player prefs. And here's all I do. I use the name of the player as the key. Player info JSON is a JSON string that has all the stuff in the player info structure serialized to it. So this player info is it's just it could be anything, right? But you can put like whatever stuff you want inside of this player info and have it be serializable, and then you serialize it to JSON and store in prefs. And it's simple. It's not a big deal. And then other people are like really into scriptable objects, and I just, it's kind of black box-ish to me. And I've come to distrust a lot of Unity-specific solutions. It's like if I feel like they're really giving me something that'd be hard to do without them, then I'll do it the Unity way. If it feels like I just got to do a little work to do it a more simple way, I'll do it that way. Okay, so this one. I'm not storing that much, so I'm probably not the person who is going to be testing it with this game. Let's check on that, because this question applies to me too. Player info, no, player prefs limit, string limit. Okay, so that's for the web. One megabyte. It seems like a practical limit is 1 megabyte. Yeah. But you're making me think a little bit, because so right now I take, for the one player, I put all of their data inside of one JSON. A megabyte's a lot. Honestly, it's a lot. If all you're doing is storing text data and settings and even level state. I think that budget will be fine for me. The place where I might have a little bit more trouble is if I start adding in mid-level saves. And but if I have to, I can break it out into multiple strings too. Could compress the JSON. I don't think I'm going to come anywhere near the 1 megabyte limit. But if I was, say, serializing like everything in the level, that kind of save game type functionality, where you say every single scene object, we're gonna save its properties and store that as a save file. Then you could run into problems. But I think at least for my uses, it's pretty manageable. And also, I was pretty happy that I sent out a new release to my playtesters, like a second build. They installed it, and then their settings were retained and used in the new build. So that was a nice test of my strategy. Apparently it's not too bad. Okay, so yeah, I was kind of worried that they would lose all their progress and they'd have to play through all the levels again. But I guess if it just stores it in the registry, then it's good. Okay, X, unpack, prefab. Okay, middle basement. Oh, my goal is I'm going to finish making these level replacements by 8 o'clock. I'm going to go have a little vodka and watch me some second half of Borat. That makes sense. I think I've got all this company name, product name set. Okay, so Little Arena. Let's see, this is middle basement, then we go to mid-lower basement. Okay. The other thing I was interested in was, oh, okay. No blocks on this one, cool. Is there some way to hook up the name of the player to whatever the operating system gives as a name of the player? I haven't looked into that too much. I don't know if you have. So like if you're on Windows or you're on environment variables or something that just gives you the name of the currently logged on user. Because then I could just say, well, if somebody on this computer logs off and somebody else logs on, I'll just use whatever their name is for the settings file. I won't have to write like a add new player, switch profiles type thing. Okay, did I do I haven't done Paradise yet. I started to. Does that work cross-platform? Maybe it won't. Maybe it's like you want to encapsulate it and do something different on Mac. But yeah, something like that. That's what I want to do. Paradise. Okay, let's go to Paradise. Oh, that's cool. Then I will go to your window. Copy. Dang it. Just don't switch the focus back when I'm in the middle of doing something, Unity. Okay, copy the link there. Drop it into my little note file. I need to organize this better now. It's getting too big. Different names. Env variable. Okay. Let's get these blocks hidden. Okay, replace those with small. And set them. A. No, not that one. No. Oh, this stupid thing again. What? Wait a minute. What am I looking at? Something's off there. Something's off. Oh, there's all this junky stuff that got... Okay, that's right. Okay, so I get rid of these guys. Delete you. Got it. I gotta be careful though. Let's see, this is... I can delete that. What are these things? Okay, delete those. So these are the bits that... it's basically a corruption of sorts. Okay, then delete that. Nice. Okay. P. L. E. Okay. Bring the blocks back. And then unpacks. See if I can get it done before 8. Alright, I might go a little later than 8 if I have to, but it's a nice goal. Paradise. Plundy. Okay, this is a combination. So some of them should definitely be small, some should be large. Just looking at it, looks like most of them should be small. So let's pick the large ones and do them first. Okay. this one here. Okay, sounds like I'll just want some kind of abstraction layer over the top that I'll write. You know, some function like get current username, and then if it's on Mac, I'll call one place. There's nothing like that already built into Unity, though, is there? Not to make you a research assistant, but those feel like the kind of thing they might be smart enough to make an API for. Okay, so those ones should be large. Those are all X's. I lost the selection. Okay. X. X. Okay. All right, I'll get the rest of these guys. Blockpad, just all the rest. Change that to small. Set those to X to start. And then these guys in the corner should be, that one is N. And this one is O. Let's see how it looks. Yeah. Okay, I was a little worried to have the large ones next to the small ones so close together, but it's fine. Okay. Let's unpack and then move on to the next. Rail pushing. Okay, so we got it's X over here. That one can be large. And actually, it looks a little weird. I should make it small. Yeah, okay, that one should be small. And all the other block pads are up top. I'd like to keep them large. I don't think it's too bad for the rail to go through them like that. There's like a thing about them looking a little bit wrong to have that down there. I'll have to write some code for that later to go up a little bit if they're stacked on a block pad. Okay, so all of them large except one. This one here. Okay, the rest of them should be 5. 5 remain. Yep, there are. Hey, Googling's a bit of an art form. I find whenever I ask a question in a way that makes some kind of sense and is very specific, it doesn't work. And then whenever I just kind of think like, whatever somebody who is kind of like expressing it in a less simple, a more simple, less precise way, then it works. So if I say probe builder cylinder placement causes Unity process exit, I get nothing, even though it's like a lot of precision to get away from everybody else's stuff. If I say Pro Builder cylinder crashes Unity, then maybe I get it, you know? It's kind of annoying to me. Like there should be a better way than just doing the lowest common denominator or family feud way of expressing your question. They've got all this fancy AI and stuff. They should be able to parse the meaning of what you're saying and then apply it more specifically. I mean, they're supposed to be like gods over there. All right, so let's go with the large. All right, so then I'm going to fix the letters on the pad up here. Yeah. I'm just kind of like, Google, you ain't all that. Not yet. You'll get there, but don't pretend. Don't pretend you're so good. You got a ways to go. I wouldn't mind if somebody knocked them off the top for a little bit. Made them humble. You know what? I should try that DuckDuckGo thing. DuckDuckGo is like the privacy protecting version of the search engine. That's, you know what my New Year's resolution is in advance is just consciously select all of the software that I use. Get rid of like the standard stuff that is actually screwing me over in some way and screwing everybody else over in some way. So like I might go do the Brave browser, DuckDuckGo, and maybe set up a VPN so that like my browsing goes throughout someplace else, you know. Yeah, I think I want to be just a little bit more of an activist with my software selections and choices. I'll be like a kind of like a baby activist. So, and unless it gets really hard, then I won't do it that way. If it's easy and I can make the change, then yeah, anything to send a big fuck you to Facebook and Google and a tinfoil hat, though. That would be the first step. Let's see, rail pushing slightly. Oh, I'm gonna do it. I might not make it by 8, but it might be like 8:07 or something like that, which is just fine. Okay, got some down here. Okay, those are large. These should be large. I know they're not. I think this is the old design of the block pads before I updated them. These can all be large. Good. The placement works out. This one might go into the stairs a bit. I'll see what it looks like. Maybe I'll leave it. Maybe I'll replace it. Okay, let's start with large. So it should be a total of 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, got it. Oh, but the upstairs ones I gotta remember because they don't have blocks on top of them. E-R-A. Oh, that's old blocks. 1. Yeah, I don't want to mess with all the blocks right now. 1, 1. All right. Letter. 1, 1. 1, 1. One. No. 1. 1. Yeah. 1. Okay. Back to the block pads, please. Okay. So what was this one? Nice. Okay, that's a U. Y. O. Okay, so W, H, O. Did I get these? I did. Okay. Let me just take a quick look. If I just take this and move it, does it look kind of bad? Does it look all right? Take this off. It's not bad. I'll keep it. Yeah, I can go underneath the stairs a little bit. No big deal. Alright, so then we do the unpack. Yeah, it's a little compromise. You know, because I like those larger block pads because they show underneath, you know, so the player can see if the block is on top, what's underneath of it. But yeah, it's all right. It didn't look too bad there. Slightly lower basement is the one I'm on, and then the fork has no blocks in it. The whelm, that's got some. So 1 or 2 left. Okay, just thinking about the placement. I know that they're right next to each other, so let's make them small. These might be a little tricky. Nah, they won't be. Small. There we go. And then just do them one at a time. We go in. In. That one's a no. I feel like I screwed up one of these. We'll see. Lots and lots of blocks. Just hide them all so I can see the pads. I know. Okay, I got it. That's good. All right. It might be one more level, and that'll be it. Yeah, this one's got some. Okay, so those I want to all be large because they're hidden otherwise. There's none there. These have to be small because they're right next to each other. That one, yeah, keep it small. Yeah, I think so. That was a nice breakthrough, and that little snippet worked. Intentionally. So you look at it and you think, why won't this bridge close? Why won't it close? And I would feel bad about this kind of cheap trick for, you know, people who've got like, what's the thing where letters are swapped around? But it's a little bit of fairness to the non-English speakers or second language English people that will play this game. Dyslexia, yeah. So there'll be somebody who's playing this game and they speak Russian or something and they don't know English. Everything's localized, but I can't localize the blocks. So I thought, if I'm making it hard on the non-English speakers, a little bit of a challenge for the English speakers is fair. I might do some words also that are in different languages. Get some Spanish words in there. Okay, so R gets changed to large. Did I do large in that or small? That's small right there. If I do large, yeah, I'll do small. Okay. Home stretch here. Whoa. Oh, wrong. Whew. Had the wrong thing picked. Okay. There we go. Okay, so that should be small. These other ones should be small. I can't get to them without hiding the blocks. No, don't do that. Jeez. All right, get rid of that. I might have to do this one at a time just to. Okay. Whoa. Okay. E. There we go. Cool. And let's remember to spell it wrong. Okay, then the other ones are large. So those ones are much easier to pick out. Block pad. There should be BRIDGE, 6 of them. They should all be over here. Okay. Okay. This one, pretty easy. I just go in order. Oh, what? Oh, I know. That stupid thing. Okay, got it. What's that problem with the old style of these? It had all these extra things that got pulled out. So if I just do. Okay. I see some more junk there. Okay. Some more junk here. So I can cheat a little bit on this one, just pull it out from the wall. Its position is not important to the puzzle for it to be there. So just pull down one. There. And it looks pretty. And then let's bring blocks back in. Take that guy there, just move it over the new spot. Okay, then let's unpack. Looking good. All right, that's it. That wasn't bad. Could have gone a lot worse. You know, for you, actually for me too, it feels like commit time, I gotta say. Let's do this project settings too, although that looks weird. All right, that's a session. Sleep for Ninja, vodka and Borat for Eric, Mateo. I don't know what you're up to. You've been a little bit quiet. It's all right if you're lurking. I don't hold it against you. Anybody else lurking? I don't hold it against you. Catch y'all later, or catch just KN later. I don't know. We'll see. Stopping the stream. Thanks a lot, Ninja. Appreciate the help. See ya.